last year we sold our house and we packed all our stuff into storage.
So I've loaded up the car, hooked on the camper and decided to go and see this beautiful country of ours.
When we get back from our trip, we want to buy our own small farm, so we're hoping to be encouraged by the way others are growing their own food and loving it.
We want to be encouraged by meeting new people and hearing their stories.
And to top it all off, we're excited that we've got another little one on the way. So join us on our journey of being rookies on the road to becoming farmers. Last week we shared part 1 of the Kimberleys with you. This week we're going to travel the rest of the way along the Gibb River Road.
Travelling east along the Gibb, we organised to put a few hours in and came across another brilliant gorge called Galvin Gorge. Now this one here was probably one of my personal favourites. I absolutely loved Galvin Gorge.
It'd be really easy to miss it because it's not one of the big iconic ones, and it's only got a tiny little car park sort of basically beside the Gibb River Road.
So we're inside a waterfall!
It was a really nice moment to have that and to share that and just the quietness of that whole space, going swimming in the water, jumping off the trees, jumping off the rocks. It was so much fun.
And you well and truly jumped off the rock, didn't you?
I do go and check it out and make sure it's relatively safe to jump.
Says the person who took his 32-week pregnant wife into one of the remote places of Australia.
Because I believe in her. She's
like
tough.
you've got a sat phone.
She's tough.
We kept travelling along the Gibb River Road after leaving Galvin Gorge, and not far from there is the Mount Barnett Roadhouse. So the lady at the Roadhouse actually gave us a fair bit of information about Manning Gorge.
What'd she say?
We weren't sure whether I would be able to walk all the way to the gorge or not.
Okay.
And she said to us that unfortunately, because it's really open and exposed and there's not a lot of trees, that I would just get way too hot.
Yep.
So
And your oven does run pretty warm.
I know, I
when you're
was
pregnant.
definitely getting very hot while we were in there. So there was no way I was going to risk that. So you went for a trek on your own.
So I set off at first light.
Do you think that Manning Gorge was worth the walk? Like, was it any better than, say, Bell Gorge that I was able to walk to?
It had its like subtle differences where you could sort of walk up onto different platforms and go for a little swim up the top of it before the gorge, or before the little waterfall drops down to the big pool, all that kind of stuff. I think they're all unique and they have their own sort of feelings and vibe about them. So.
And because you went really early again, you were able to sort of go there on your own, weren't you? And there wasn't really anyone
there was no one else down there.
No
when I went
nudie
down.
swims this time?
No nudie swims this time.
Not that he got on camera.
There actually was. The best thing about that location that, if you had a real young family,
Yeah.
they could organise, go for a dip there, and if you want to take them further down, by all means, go for it.
And there were people that hiked in with their kids, but gosh, it was beautiful just to swim in that Manning River there and just enjoy that cool water and cool off after the heat that you get in the Kimberleys.
I come back from a walk and I found this fruit salad. Hello, fruit salad. Who dressed you like that?
So we drove north off the Gibb River Road and headed up towards Columbaroo Indigenous Community, and it's pretty isolated up there.
And that takes you to the most northwestern point that you can drive to in Western Australia as such. And you've got to have all your gear.
And we were able to again explain the importance of our Indigenous heritage to Evie, and we were able to meet up with some of the Indigenous elders there, and they told us a little bit more about it. We didn't get that on camera, but it was just a really cool experience for us. So in World War II, there was a RAF base that was up near Columbaroo Community, and in 1943, there was 21 Japanese bombers came and attacked the mission and the RAF base that was there. And then we saw some of the planes that had been taken down, basically.
Yeah, they were shot down. Like there was actual bullet holes in them, and you can see where they crashed into the tree.
So we headed back down towards the Gibb River Road, and then we started heading east again and went to one of the more iconic stations along the Gibb River Road, and one that people can access quite easily without having to travel too far in along the corrugations. And we went to El Cuestro.
Ooh.
We did. And we're just going to share a little bit of that, which was our favourite part, which was the hot springs.
Oh, the water temperature there is about 30 degrees and it's just an amazing location.
And it's like that all the time, and it's natural.
It like never stops.
And it's not like those hot springs where they've like actually built pools and stuff in there. Like
No.
literally you're like crammed in between like two little rocks.
In the rocks, you know, plenty of trees around. It's a really beautiful location.
And I will say I was reluctant to do the Gibb River Road and the Kimberleys, but when anyone asks me about the trip, that was probably one of my favourite parts.
That makes me so happy to hear you say that.
So I'm glad we did it. I'm really glad we did it.
I'm stoked that you loved it. It
Good
was
job.
awesome.
Good job for pushing me to do it. Good job for
I knew
pushing
she
a
would
heavily
love
pregnant
it.
woman into isolation and 40-degree heat.
So we've left the dirt roads behind. We're back on the highways now, and we're heading east as quick as we can go.
From here, we drove
And drove.
and drove
And drove.
and drove all the way
And probably a bit more driving.
to Townsville.
We caught up with some mates there.
Yes, we had a little stop with our lovely friends from the block, Caro and Kingy.
Oh, they're so lovely.
They are so lovely.
Bloody champions.
Yes, they took Dean crab fishing. And then it was like hightail it from Townsville all the way down to Newcastle.
Had to get home
We did.
because somebody was really knocking on the door.
Really knocking on the door. And we sold a house, so we have nowhere to live, remember? And before we knew it, we travelled 20,000 Ks around Australia and we're setting up the camper for the last time.
Oh, have to go home. That was it. We were done. What a trip though.
What a trip. But we'll show you how we set the camper up real quick.
Come inside. So that right there was our little house for the entire trip. That's all we stayed in. And tell you what, it was awesome.
It
I
was
loved it.
awesome. Even for a pregnant woman.
We've been on the road for over 20,000 Ks.
And you've been with us for 6 states and 1 territory. And you've watched the bump grow and grow and grow and grow. And now it's time to meet who is inside.
Meet little Vinny boy. This is our new little fella. And I tell you what, we're the luckiest people in the world. He is an
Very
absolute
blessed.
gem.
And Evie's very excited to be a big sister.
She can't keep her hands off him. Oh, hi, Vinny. She's having a great time with him. This has been an amazing adventure and we've had such a great time as a family. And we really want to thank you guys for being with us for the whole trip.
And we hope we've inspired you to maybe do a little bit of travel and feel like you can do it, even if you are massively pregnant and you do have kids.
It is so worthwhile. You know, we wish that we could keep going forever and ever and ever, but we've tackled the next little project that we've got on our radar,
Well, we're about to tackle it.
and it's a big one.
We'd like to introduce you to our new farm.
This is it. This is going to be us.
So we'll take you on a little tour through what is going to be where we're going to live. So you thought the camper was small? Check out our new house.
Mate, this is flash.
It needs a little bit of work, but I think we might have a few skills that we learned somewhere along the way about renovating. So hopefully you'll be able to join us so you can keep up to date on our Instagram at Shane Dean. We'll put some information on our blog.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting, guys. We can't wait to get stuck into it and to show you what we're up to. So make sure you come back and check us out, and thanks for being with us.
Bye guys.
Thanks so much. Bye.
We would like to say a huge thank you to everybody that backed this trip. So we've got Dutch Engineering that helped us with our canopy, Cardiff Toyota that helped us get our new Toyota on the road, our new Hilux.
Got us back home too.
And got us back home just in time. And Out of Town four-wheel drive and Newcastle ARB that got all of the special four-wheel drive gear that we needed on the car.
And the support from Wholesale Automatics. Look, if it wasn't for that gear, I think you'd still be out there.
Probably.
A big thank you to Scamper Camper. Those guys really looked after us with our little home on the road. We spent every single night inside that camper and we had an absolute blast with it. So thanks for everyone for believing in us and what this whole trip was about, us learning how to farm, how to be sustainable. There's one particular thing that we are really proud of about our whole trip around Australia, and that was the fact for the entire trip we were fully self-sustainable in terms of power usage, and with the use of the gear from Red Arc, we were able to not plug into the grid once for the entire trip. So everything was solar powered into batteries, charging camera gear, everything that we did power wise. That was it.
So thanks for having us. Bye guys.
See you everyone.